a name that resonates through the halls of science and innovation, is known worldwide as the genius who unlocked the secrets of the universe. But the story behind this towering figure is one of perseverance, struggle, and unrelenting curiosity. Born on March 14, 1879, in Ulm, Germany, Einstein's early life was far from the picture of brilliance many associate with his name. In fact, he was considered a slow learner as a child, especially when it came to speech. At age 3, he still hadn't learned to speak, and by the time he entered school, teachers and even his parents were concerned about his academic abilities. He was often labeled as a problem child, struggling to conform to the rigid educational structures around him. However, it was precisely this unconventional way of thinking that would later fuel his groundbreaking discoveries. Despite his struggles, Einstein had a profound fascination with nature and the laws of the universe from an early age. He spent countless hours exploring geometry and physics, often teaching himself complex concepts that were way beyond his years. It was his curiosity and the ability to think outside the box that set him apart, even when others doubted him. One of Einstein's most defining characteristics was his deep sense of imagination. He famously said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge," a belief that would serve as the cornerstone of his revolutionary work. His ability to imagine how things worked, to mentally experiment with abstract concepts, allowed him to see the world through a different lens. It was this imagination that led to the development of his theory of relativity, one of the most important scientific breakthroughs in history. In 1905, Einstein published his special theory of relativity, which fundamentally changed the way we understand space, time, and energy. His equation, E equals mc superscript 2, is perhaps the most famous equation in physics, showing the relationship between energy and mass. This equation helped lay the foundation for technologies ranging from nuclear energy to space exploration. But Einstein's journey wasn't just about science. It was about defying the odds. His early academic struggles didn't stop him from pursuing higher education, and though he faced significant challenges along the way, he remained determined to prove his worth. After graduating from university, Einstein worked in a patent office in Switzerland, far from the prestigious labs and universities where many scientists would have expected to work. Yet, during this time, Einstein produced some of the most groundbreaking papers in the history of physics, working in isolation and challenging established norms. Einstein's journey wasn't without its setbacks. Throughout his career, he faced criticism and opposition, particularly from the scientific community that was slow to accept his ideas. The theory of relativity was initially met with skepticism, and Einstein's pacifist views were sometimes controversial, especially during times of war. But he never wavered in his convictions. He once said, "Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds." This resilience, this ability to stand firm in the face of adversity, became a defining feature of his character. In addition to his scientific contributions, Einstein was an advocate for social justice, civil rights, and human rights. He believed in the power of education to uplift people, and he fought against the oppression of marginalized groups, particularly in the face of rising fascism and the horrors of World War II. His humanitarian work was as groundbreaking as his scientific achievements, and he remains a symbol of integrity and moral courage. Despite his fame, Einstein remained humble. He often said that his work was merely an expression of his natural curiosity, and he believed that his discoveries were the result of hard work, imagination, and a willingness to question the status quo. He was never content to accept things as they were, always striving to push the boundaries of what was known. As he aged, Einstein's legacy continued to grow, and his name became synonymous with genius. But he never took his brilliance for granted. He always acknowledged the importance of persistence, and he famously said, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." His journey wasn't one of immediate success, but rather one of gradual progress, marked by failures, doubts, and struggles. And yet, through all of that, he emerged as one of the most influential figures in history, changing the way we understand the universe. Albert Einstein's story is a reminder that brilliance doesn't come from conforming to societal expectations or achieving success on the first try. It comes from perseverance, creativity, and the courage to think differently. His legacy continues to inspire scientists, thinkers, and dreamers around the world. He showed us that it's okay to struggle, it's okay to be misunderstood, and it's okay to fail, as long as we continue to pursue our passions and imagine what's possible. After all, Einstein once said, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. And in the case of Einstein, that curiosity changed the world forever.